Joining me, I'm Mike Hardigan. If you're a keyboard player working towards earning a living in music, this video is for you. In this series, we're talking about reading chord changes like you mean it, playing appropriately for the style of music you're working with. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the world of jazz. Even if you don't typically spend much time in jazz world, you could be called upon now and then to do some comping behind a soloist in a combo setting. And today, we'll look at the techniques that'll get you through a situation like that. I use the word comping for playing chords in all styles of music, but you hear it from jazz guys the most. It's short for complementing. Complementing. Since jazz tunes usually specify sevenths, upper extensions, bass notes, and altered notes, and you never see a simple triad, we'll be looking at a different chart from the one we've used so far. Let's set the scene. You're playing for a wedding or a corporate party, and at the last minute you were offered a few extra clams to provide a little background music during the cocktail hour. Steve Snappy Pants, your band leader, pulls out a rusty saxophone, plops a totally legal copy of The Authentic Book down in front of you, calls for Donkey Patch, and starts counting it off. So, how do we keep those clams in your pocket and out of the music? When you're looking at a jazz lead sheet, you'll see the quality of the chord, the seventh, and any altered extensions. But just knowing how to spell these chords doesn't guarantee that they'll sound good. Playing them in a close position, even with good voice leading, sounds pretty bland. The key to getting a nice jazz voicing is to put a little space between the notes. The bass player will take care of the root and would probably actually prefer it if you don't play the root. The most important notes to be hitting on every chord are the third and the seventh, sometimes called the shell. We'll play those with our left hand. If you're really uncomfortable with jazz, you can get away with just playing these notes and it'll sound okay. Look for 2-5-1 patterns, referring to the scale degree. Anytime you see a minor chord followed by a dominant seventh a fourth away, we'll call that a 2-5. So this C minor 7 is a 2, F7 is the 5, and B flat is the 1. Then we have D minor 7 flat 5, and G 7 flat 9. That's another 2-5 leading back into the C minor, which is the 2 in the next 2-5. And then for this turnaround at the end, we have a D flat minor and a G flat 7, which doesn't seem to lead anywhere. If you want to really dig into the theory, those are the tritone substitution 2-5 of this F with an interpolated C minor before it. That's a 2. But that doesn't matter if we're just trying to play some voicings. The nice thing about 2-5-1 shells is voice leading seems to write itself. C minor 7, F7, the third became the seventh of the next chord. B flat major, the third became the seventh again. And it works like this all the way through. To add more notes to the voicings, here are some notes that work with different types of chords. For major and dominant chords, you can play the 9th and the 13th. For minor chords, you can play the 9th and 11th. You can usually play the 5th or root up higher on any chord, and try to include any altered notes like the flat 9 on this G7. Keeping some space between the notes and trying to keep a few constant notes when voice leading between the 2-5-1s. Let's do it with the band. Think of comping as punctuation. You'll get the best results using a balance of long and short notes with plenty of syncopation. A couple brief ideas to spice things up. Bluesy grace notes can occasionally be thrown in with the right hand, second note from the top. Another thing you'll sometimes hear pianists do is quickly move a voicing up or down a half step and back, like this. There's an awful lot more to jazz comping than I can cover in one video, but hopefully with this information and a little practice, you can at least get through a cocktail hour set and spend the rest of the evening playing Margaritaville and Mustang Sally to your heart's content. If you have any basic jazz comping tips that I didn't mention here, let me know in the comments section. And if you've come to my channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe. I have new keyboard videos coming out every Tuesday, and I'm making them because I believe a good career is possible for keyboard players, and it starts with professionalism, preparedness, and playing with feeling. That's what will make a good impression on the band leaders and songwriters who keep us working. Thanks for watching.